On December 16, 2025, electrician Matthew Moreland was carrying out electrical work at a vacant property in Jessup, Maryland. The house had previously suffered extensive fire damage, and Moreland had been hired to rewire its alarm system. During a test of the system, the alarm activated, prompting a response from an officer with the Howard County Police Department. What happened after the officer arrived was recorded on his body-worn camera.
Police staff.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. You're setting off alarms here.
I'm working.
All right. Do you have ID on you?
I do not.
You don't have any ID.
Not on me.
Anywhere here?
Yeah, it's here. What do you need my ID for? I'm
Because
working.
I don't know who you are.
Well, I don't know who you are. Listen.
Yeah, you do.
I'm working, my friend.
Okay, look, step back. Step back. Do you have any ID on you or in here anywhere?
I think it's in my van now.
Okay. All right. I understand you're working, but
I don't understand what you need my ID for. I'm working.
I have to
here.
identify
And I told
you.
him.
I don't know who you are. I don't know who lives here. You're not the owner, or you don't live here, do you? That's why I got to identify you. You're setting the alarms off.
Well, I'm here working.
Exactly.
I got a reason to be here.
I understand that.
And I don't know why you got to push me in here.
I didn't push you in there. I just backed you up because it's freezing cold outside.
Moreland later challenged the officer over physically moving him away from the doorway. The officer denied pushing him, explaining instead that he had simply moved Moreland backward because of the extremely cold weather. The body camera recording, however, appears to show the officer placing his hands against Moreland's chest and moving him farther into the property while telling him to step back. The Supreme Court's 1980 decision in Peyton v. New York established an important constitutional protection. The Fourth Amendment provides especially strong protection at the entrance of a home. Generally, police cannot cross that threshold without a warrant unless a recognized emergency provides a valid exception. Examples can include an immediate threat to someone's safety, officers pursuing a fleeing suspect, or circumstances involving the imminent destruction of evidence. In this case, the officer did not have a warrant. More importantly, the entry does not appear to have been voluntary because Moreland was physically moved away from the doorway as the officer entered. The officer's explanation that the weather was cold is also unlikely, by itself, to qualify as an exigent circumstance allowing warrantless entry into a residence. The strongest argument available to justify the entry would therefore involve the exigent circumstances exception. But a triggered alarm does not automatically fall within one of the established emergency categories. The Fourth Circuit, whose federal decisions apply in Maryland, addressed warrantless entry in the 1984 case United States v. Dart. There, officers were permitted to enter a burglarized storage facility without a warrant because there were obvious signs that the doors had been forced open and officers had reason to believe the suspects might still be inside. The circumstances here were substantially different. There were no apparent signs of forced entry. Moreland answered the door, remained cooperative, and immediately explained that he was an electrician performing contracted work at the property. Nothing indicated that a violent crime was actively occurring. There was no person visibly requesting help, no fleeing suspect, and no obvious emergency requiring immediate police entry. A related issue was considered by the Fourth Circuit in United States v. Moss in 1992. Even where an officer had reasonable grounds to suspect a break-in, the court concluded that the circumstances justified looking through the doorway rather than entering the property. By physically moving Moreland away from the entrance and crossing the threshold, the officer went substantially beyond that limited approach. For those reasons, there is a strong constitutional argument that the warrantless entry was not supported by an applicable exigent circumstance and therefore violated the Fourth Amendment.
Not that difficult, dude. Where are you going? Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away. Walk back out here. Nope, walk back out here. Come on.
Why are you touching me?
Because I don't know who you are. Come on, let's go. Do you have ID?
I don't. I'm going to call the people that I'm working
Listen, you don't have ID in your truck or anywhere?
I probably do have it in my truck.
Okay, do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm coming
I'm
to
going
an
to call
alarm.
the people that
You're
I'm
in
working
here.
for.
Okay.
All right.
Somebody on the phone doesn't mean that's who owns this place. Jeez. Not that difficult.
Hey, Paul. So I'm over here and they got the police out here because the alarm's gone off.
Say that again?
I said I'm over here and they've got the police here because the alarm has gone off. Can you get Mr. Coffee to come on over here and clear this situation up? Thank you. And that'd be the owner. He'll come.
Okay, what's so difficult about having an ID?
What are you going to ID me for?
Because I need to know who you are. You're in a house that's not yours, setting the alarm
I'm a
off.
contractor. I'm working for a general contractor.
Okay, that's great, but I need to make sure you're valid to be here. Do you understand that?
My ID doesn't serve any purpose for that.
Yes, it does.
What does it tell you?
It tells me who you are in case later on you weren't supposed to be here.
So I give you my ID, you're going to leave. Leave me alone, leave.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You don't need to know how we conduct our business.
Let's just wait for the owner to get here.
Okay, we'll wait forever.
Yeah, probably. And I'll call this fine lady Tracy.
Stay here. Don't walk away.
I'm going to get her phone number right here.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But don't walk away from me.
When Mr. Later, Moreland attempted to move into another part of the house to make a phone call. The officer physically directed him back toward the entrance. When Moreland tried to make another call, the officer also instructed him not to leave. Those actions raise another Fourth Amendment issue, whether Moreland was unlawfully detained. Under the rules governing investigative stops, an officer may temporarily detain someone when specific, articulable facts create a reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is occurring. As discussed earlier, the officer's initial entry into the house presents its own constitutional problem. But even assuming the officer was lawfully inside, there is still a question about whether he possessed enough reasonable suspicion to detain Moreland. The activation of an alarm can certainly be one fact contributing to reasonable suspicion. However, an alarm alone does not necessarily establish that the person found inside the property is involved in criminal activity. The circumstances surrounding Moreland also matter. He did not attempt to escape. He was not behaving evasively. Instead, he answered the door, identified himself as an electrician, and explained that he had been hired to perform work at the property. In the 2021 decision United States v. Drakeford, the Fourth Circuit emphasized that reasonable suspicion must be evaluated by considering the circumstances as a whole. That analysis includes facts that may reduce or eliminate suspicion, rather than focusing exclusively on information suggesting possible wrongdoing. Based on that principle, there is a credible argument that the officer's suspicion was insufficient because he concentrated on the alarm while giving inadequate weight to Moreland's explanation. There is, however, an important qualification. Police officers are not automatically required to accept an individual's explanation simply because the person provides one. The Supreme Court addressed a related principle in District of Columbia v. Wesby in 2018. Officers do not necessarily have to eliminate every innocent possibility before taking action if the complete set of circumstances still provides a reasonable basis for believing criminal activity may have occurred. That case concerned probable cause rather than the lower standard of reasonable suspicion required for an investigative stop. Nevertheless, its reasoning could still be relevant. A court would likely examine the entire situation and ask whether a reasonable officer, after considering Moreland's explanation alongside the other circumstances, could still reasonably suspect criminal conduct. Sponsor segment. This report from a data broker shows just how much personal information can be collected about an individual. Even a short report can contain a surprising amount of information. Companies known as data brokers gather personal details and sell that information to others. That raises obvious concerns because the same information may potentially become available to people such as scammers, spammers, or stalkers. The more information contained in these reports, the more apparent it becomes that large amounts of personal data can exist online without people realizing it. That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura works to identify data brokers that have your information and requests its removal on your behalf. It also continues monitoring those sources to help keep your information from reappearing. Aura combines several forms of protection in one service. Along with data removal features, it provides identity protection and credit monitoring, reducing the need to manage multiple services separately. Aura is also a US-based company focused on protecting customer information rather than selling it. According to Aura, personal information is encrypted and the company does not sell that information. Aura also advertises significantly faster fraud alerts than competing services, potentially notifying users very quickly when suspicious activity is detected. Your personal information may already be circulating through data broker networks without you knowing about it. Aura can help identify those companies and submit removal requests automatically. You can try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/audittheaudit. You can also use the QR code shown on screen or follow the link provided in the description or pinned comment. Thanks to Aura for sponsoring this episode. Back to Bodycam footage. The officer then asks whether Moreland is the only person inside the property. Moreland confirms that he is. The officer continues speaking with him and provides his location information while investigating the situation.
Do you have warrants or something? Are you scared to
No,
identify
not at
yourself?
all. I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions. Well, guess what? You're going to go in handcuffs in a second.
Hey, is this Tracy? Hey, Tracy, it's Matthew with Technical Electric. How are you today?
I'm out with a worker here,
I'm
but he's
having a
refusing to
wonderful
identify
time with
himself.
these
Fuck
folks
you.
over
6'6"
here. I was just wondering if you guys could come on over here and clear this up for them. They don't, they're worried that I'm not supposed to be here, so. Okay. Well, he said that he's not going to be able to do anything
I'll talk to him
over
on the
the
phone. Would you like me to talk to him? Who is this?
This is the guy's assistant. Her name is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. I'm out with this worker who's refusing to identify himself.
Oh, I understand. Not a problem. Mr. Coffey, I have Mr. Coffey in the car. We're on our way to the house.
Okay, how far away are you?
We are just passing Staples on Silver Parkway, so we're approaching Oakland Hills.
Okay, I appreciate it. We wouldn't have this issue if this guy would just identify himself, but he's refusing to.
Oh, Matthew? Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
It's not a problem. We'll be right there. I thought Mr. Coffey said he let them know yesterday about the restoration that's going on at his home, but we'll be there as quickly as possible.
I appreciate it. Be careful.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I was on the phone with Tracy. Yeah, I just gave her a call after I got off the phone with you, saying make sure they were on their way over here. Well, look, I've got the cop here, man. He's being redundant, I just want to,
Redundant.
I just want,
I got your worker here who refuses to identify himself.
I don't have a constitutional need to.
A constitutional need to.
All right, Paul. Well, I'll give you a
a
call
sovereign
back
citizen?
once it's cleared up.
You're being audio and visually recorded, by the way.
I get it. I'm gonna sit down on that stair there if you don't mind.
Yep, go ahead. I just don't understand why this is so
It's not
difficult.
gonna do anything for you. That's the problem.
You don't know how we operate, okay? And I'm not going to disclose that information of how we operate.
Well, I don't have a need to ID, so I'm not going to.
You do have a need to.
What's the
Legally, you have a need to. You don't belong here. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's not how I mean it.
Okay.
You don't live here. This isn't your house. You set alarms off, and you're refusing to identify
Well, I was
yourself.
working on the alarm.
Tell me how that looks.
I'm working on the alarm.
You just said you're working on the house.
Yeah, well, I'm an electrician. I'm
Okay,
here doing electric work.
but do you understand what I'm saying? How do you think that looks to me when you're refusing to identify yourself? You're in a place where you're setting alarms off, and you don't live here.
I don't understand that. What's the need for me to identify myself? I am a contractor. Clearly, the house is
Because
under
the homeowner's
construction.
not here, so
And
I
he's
need to know who you.
Moreland maintains that he was not legally required to provide identification. The Supreme Court considered identification requirements during investigative stops in the 2004 case Heibel v. 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada. The court determined that a state can require someone to identify themselves during a lawful investigative detention when the detention itself is supported by reasonable suspicion. Maryland, however, does not generally impose a broad requirement for a person being detained to provide identification to police. The relevant statutory exception concerns individuals carrying handguns under Maryland Criminal Law Code Section 4-206. There is another potential issue involving obstruction. In some situations, refusing to identify oneself could contribute to an allegation that someone obstructed or hindered an officer. In Maryland, obstructing and hindering is a common law misdemeanor. The important point is that the government must show actual interference with an officer's performance of a specific duty. Simply being uncooperative is not necessarily enough. The Maryland Court of Appeals addressed this requirement in Titus v. State in 2011. In that case, the defendant provided a false name during a traffic investigation. The court concluded that the evidence did not establish the necessary obstruction because the state had not shown how the defendant's conduct actually interfered with the officer's investigation. That distinction is significant here. Moreland had already explained that he was a contractor working at the property. The officer did not clearly explain what investigative purpose obtaining his identification would accomplish, particularly because the homeowner was available and could confirm whether Moreland had permission to be there. Therefore, even if a court concluded that the officer had sufficient reasonable suspicion to conduct a detention and request identification, there would still be an argument that Moreland's refusal did not actually interfere with an identifiable police duty. And, as discussed earlier, whether the officer even possessed the necessary reasonable suspicion is itself debatable. The officer later asks whether Moreland had contacted the police department.
No, he hasn't notified the police department.
Yeah, they came yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. Today they didn't. And when the alarm company calls to get a code to clear it, they did not answer and did not give the correct code.
Oh, well, I've got the code.
They didn't call you. They called the owner.
Oh, okay.
This is such a simple thing that I've handled 9,000 times, and you make it difficult.
I'm not trying to be difficult, sir.
But you are being difficult.
Well, I just don't understand what
You don't have to understand.
ID. I mean, I understand that you don't think that I have to understand, but my ID does nothing. It doesn't tell you he's a contractor, he's supposed to be
It
there.
tells me who you are. So later on, if the homeowner comes on and say, "Hey, somebody was in here," blah blah blah,
Well,
I know who it was.
I've got the homeowner coming, so that way we just don't even have to worry about it.
Well, regardless of that, you asked the question. I'm explaining it to
I
you.
gotcha. I gotcha.
I won't ask you questions because you don't answer questions.
Other than this, how's your day going?
I don't answer questions.
Lord have mercy.
I'll play your stupid game.
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, Mr. Coffee is here.
All right. Mr. Coffee's the homeowner?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys got here pretty quick.
Huh?
You guys got here pretty quick.
Yeah, I was my son over. Halfway. Hi, Mr. Matthew.
Hello.
You fixing your lights?
I was working.
Are you listening to a call?
What's that?
Are you listening to a call?
Am I listening to your call?
No, are you listening?
Oh, that's not mine.
Oh, okay.
You get an ear for when they're talking to you.
Yeah,
It's not mine. I'm sorry.
Just to give you a heads up, I just wanted Mr. Coffee's caregivers. His house was damaged by solar panels,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so they had to basically take the top off the house. He had to move out
Holy cow.
until,
Yeah.
so this is what's all going. So Mr. Matthew is one of the electricians.
Okay.
And Mr. Paul called me. He's the project manager with Strongwall Construction.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, Mr. Coffee's going to come in and you can
Okay.
verify everything. Are you guys hearing the alarm and we're not hearing it here?
Was I hearing the alarm?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was testing it,
Frank Tim.
and I opened a window, and I came in right away and
That's
pushed
right,
the
thanks.
code in, and went back to work. So it was wheel, wheel, wheel for like 10 seconds, and put the code in.
So we got
Yeah,
two
back to
alarms,
work.
one general alarm and then one window alarm.
Yeah, so that means that, and then they're calling the phone, which is, I don't know if it's
He's supposed to
Mr.
call
Coffee's
the
cell
alarm
phone.
company and tell them to not report it while I'm working in here.
Yeah.
And that's how you avoid
He
this whole
probably
process.
hasn't. He probably didn't.
I can get on and talk to him if that's
Okay,
easier.
if you don't mind,
No,
yeah.
no,
Thank
not
you,
at all.
officer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. You're the homeowner here?
Yes.
All right. Do you have identification on you by any chance? That shows this address?
Sure.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
See, what the problem is, I told another policeman yesterday
Yeah.
that they are working on my house.
Right. You have to tell the alarm company that.
And the electrician in there,
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. The problem is the electrician wouldn't give me any information. He wouldn't give me his name. Wouldn't give me anything. He said it's not his constitutional duty to give me his name. And he doesn't understand that he's setting an alarm off and he doesn't live in this house. Yes, I need to identify who you are. Well, he refused to. So that's why we're here.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay, no problem. But the thing about it is this, he got everything hooked up.
Yeah.
But after getting everything hooked up,
Mm-hmm.
it came over the board that one of my windows
Yeah.
was open in the basement.
Uh-huh.
He went down in the basement, and none of the windows are open, but one of them was broke.
Oh, okay. All right.
And when that go off,
Mm-hmm.
it don't set off the alarm in my house because it's not completely, connected together.
Right, right.
But what I'm going to have him to do, just go on and turn it off.
Well, you can either turn it off, or if it goes off, do you have a cell phone? Do they call you?
Nobody called me.
Okay, yeah, the alarm companies should call you, and you can give them like a code,
Right.
and they cancel us. But they said they didn't say anything about calling anybody. So
Yeah, well, nobody hasn't called me.
right, Mr. Coffee, are you 91?
Yeah.
Looking at your date of birth, my dad was born in 38. He's 87. He lives in Arizona, still kicking too.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I'll
well,
soon be 92. My next birthday's in April.
are you going for 100? Come on, you can do it.
If God willing.
I tell my dad that, hey, you're going to make it to 100. He's like, I hope not.
See, I tell you, it doesn't make any difference with me how long I live. If it's God's will, I'll go along with it.
I'm with you there. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
When it's your time, it's your time. It's not our decision.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, like I said, if you want to talk to your alarm company and have them make sure they call you if it goes off, or set it up with him while he's working for them to call him and he can give a code, then we won't have to come out here if it goes off.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I probably have him to just go on and turn the alarm off.
Gotcha.
If you just turn it off, you see, you won't have to worry about it.
Right. All right.
Because I got to get that window replaced anyway.
Yeah. Well, I got what I need, so I appreciate you all coming out here so quickly.
Problem.
All right. Well, have a good day, sir.
Once the homeowner confirmed that Moreland was legitimately present inside the property, the officer ended the encounter and left. Moreland later reported that he submitted a complaint to the Howard County Police Department. According to Moreland, the department's internal affairs investigation concluded that the officer had not committed misconduct. Moreland also said that he was attempting to obtain legal representation but had not yet received a response from the attorneys he contacted. Looking at the encounter from a constitutional perspective, the officer's conduct raises serious concerns. The first major issue is the entry into the home. The Fourth Amendment provides heightened protection to the interior of a residence, and warrantless entry generally requires consent or a recognized exception. Here, the situation did not appear to involve an immediate emergency. Moreland answered the door, explained why he was there, and appeared to provide circumstances consistent with his claim that he was working on the property. There was no apparent fleeing suspect, visible victim requiring immediate assistance, or obvious indication that an ongoing violent crime was taking place. Despite that, the officer physically moved Moreland away from the doorway and entered the house without a warrant or apparent consent. The explanation that the officer entered because the weather was extremely cold does not appear to provide an established constitutional justification for crossing the threshold of a private residence without a warrant. The subsequent detention also raises substantial questions. Before being detained, Moreland had already offered a plausible explanation for his presence. Under the totality of the circumstances approach, that explanation should form part of the officer's reasonable suspicion analysis. The officers claim that Moreland's identification was necessary to determine whether he was authorized to be inside the property is also questionable. A person's name alone would not necessarily establish whether he had permission to work there, while the homeowner could provide that confirmation directly. When Moreland attempted to assert his legal rights, the officer responded with visible frustration rather than clearly identifying a legal basis for the demands being made. This encounter demonstrates how constitutional protections can become complicated in practice when an officer enters a residence without clearly established legal authority. It also illustrates how an internal complaint process may not necessarily produce the outcome an individual seeking accountability expects. Moreland's conduct, by contrast, deserves a different assessment. Throughout the encounter, he repeatedly communicated his position without becoming physically confrontational. He explained that he was an electrician working at the property and provided information that could help resolve the officer's concerns. He did not run away or behave evasively, and he did not physically resist the officer's commands even while challenging the legality of what was happening. That distinction is important. Even when someone believes a police action is unlawful, physical resistance can create additional legal complications and significantly increase the danger of the situation. Moreland instead remained physically compliant while continuing to question the officer verbally. That approach allowed him to assert his position without turning the encounter into a physical confrontation. The homeowner eventually confirmed Moreland's account, supporting the explanation he had given from the beginning. Overall, Moreland handled a complicated and coercive encounter with considerable restraint. His decision to communicate his objections verbally while avoiding physical resistance preserved his ability to challenge the officer's actions afterward. If there is a particular police encounter or legal issue you'd like us to examine in a future episode, share it in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if you want to explore the legal issues behind body camera footage in greater detail, check out Audit the Court.